Welcome to our channel Lightning Vision. Today Mother will continue with part 2 on the education of children. Welcome Mother. So today we'll find more about the role of parents in the education of children, and that there's more to it than we would believe.
Yes, because the parent is well, you can say they're the doctor and the nurse, but the parents, that's what the child sees first in his life and every day. So the example of the parents, the way the parents educate their children, that is what the child will become. And as I already said in the first video, it's not for the nice things in life that you have to be educated. Even though you might say there also is an education necessary, because even nice things you can exaggerate and then they become not nice. So I wanted to say that it's the attitude of the parents towards, at the same time, the nice things in life and then the less nice things, that counts most, because the parents, that's what the child sees every day in front of him. And he takes consciously or unconsciously notice of that, and that's what he will repeat. Now, from that point of view, you can say that talking about the education of children is talking about the adults that surround the child. And then you can also say that those adults, you and me, were once children and have copied their own parents. So if we want to have a better influence on our children and to prepare them better for adulthood, for life, when they're adults, we have to see what we repeat from our own parents. And if you look at your own parents being an adult, the way they dealt with difficulties or even with nice things, then you can have an idea about what you very probably do yourself, up to a high degree. Now you can deny that and say, oh no, I'm not like my father, I absolutely don't do things like my mother. That might be if you're very conscious and you have been able to change this. But in most cases that's an illusion. You will very probably act in most of the situations in your life the way your parents did, up to a high degree, as I already said, without even noticing it. And that's what you give to your children. So from a spiritual point of view, very often it is said that from generation to generation, people are copying. You put the same copy in your child, and that child, once adult, puts the same copy in his children, and then things don't change. And so you see a whole family turning around in the same difficulties, and nobody knows how to get out of that, because this conscious is lacking. So what I'm trying to do is to make the adults conscious of the example they give, without without making it a dramatic affair, but I try to bring them to have a look at themselves as adults and how you are doing things in your life. And if you want to have an idea, look at your parents, because that's where you will find your examples. And you will very probably copy this, even without being completely conscious of that. For instance, if you had parents, a father that was drinking, then you were very probably born in a family in which difficulties were avoided in that way. Because drinking makes things more cool and more easy to bear. But they don't solve the problems. They will become bigger. That's the difficulty. And or you might have had a mother who started talking a lot to get rid of the tension, but she was not pronouncing words that were solving the problem neither. there are many ways in which adults, your parents, have acted. And now try to find them back in yourself and analyze this and ask yourself, yes, was that a way of behavior that was really a solution? Mm-hmm. Was this really going towards opening up the difficulties and trying to find a solution? Or not? Was the family hiding? Now, another aspect of this question is that and that's what you will see a lot nowadays, now that we have more material means the last 50 years in the Western countries, you will see that life is approached very often from a purely materialistic way. And that makes education also difficult, because then you will see that it becomes easy for families and for children to exaggerate in both ways. That's to say, nice things get out of hand in their own way, because people buy too much, eat too much, are on holiday too often. There's a big emphasis on material wealth or material joy. That is a bad situation, because what you will see is when the bad days come, adults and children, their first reaction will be to seek a solution in this material life. And that is the best way to avoid conflicts and never to solve them. Because they have the money to go on in a way of life that distracts, that takes them away from the core of the problem. When you are poor, you don't have the means to not to face your problems. Well, in the past they had it. They spent, in spite of everything, often their money on drink, on alcohol. But it's more easy when you're wealthy to find all kinds of alternative roads to go around the problem than when you're poor. And that also is one of the difficulties of nowadays life. We are too rich, from a materialistic point of view, we are too rich to be pushed to face our problems. And that's one of the reasons I think that they become bigger. What you see nowadays is that children, in my eyes, when they 16, 17, 18, they suddenly have big problems in front of them. Many couples, the parents divorced 1, 2, 3 times already. Drugs. Depression. The future, will there be a future? The working situation on earth is, in the Western countries, not ideal. It's quite a struggle. So you will see that the problems of young children, of children nowadays, are not easy when they come to adulthood. They already have a heavy burden on their shoulders from a psychological point of view, and that's one of the reasons that we should prepare them. I think that will ask a completely different approach from the bottom. That is to say, bringing up your children in material comfort, taking away as much as possible all the problems, mothering them, pampering them, taking away all kinds of pain and suffering at any moment of the day, that's absolutely not the best way. Certainly not nowadays. Because when they become 18, 20, they're in a life, in a modern life, that from many aspects is far less easy than in the past, and that's what I will deepen out in the last video. Modern life is, in spite of the appearances and the material wealth, not easy. Perhaps less easy than in the past. Mm-hmm. And that's what we forget, because we're so centered on material wealth and money.
But we're responsible for that, but unconscious.
Yes, the real difficulties of life are in another domain. It's not where you think it is. So giving a child the opportunity to go to university, giving him all he wants, a car, he can go on holiday, all the clothes he wants, that will certainly not prepare him for what's waiting for him once an adult. Mm-hmm. Because, as I already said, nowadays, when a child becomes adult, he's facing a completely different kind of situation than you did as an adult 20 or 30 years mm-hmm. ago. And that's what parents forget.
Thank you, Mother. It's particularly true now that the fathers often stay home too, and the child has the attention of both parents. I suppose it's enhancing the problem. So thank you.
Certainly.
So don't forget to subscribe, and we wish you a very, very nice day, and listen to the nice song at the end of the video. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Your whole life through you all, traces left in the sand, footprints marked out in virgin soil, hearing eyes without guide, fearless, straight ahead. You're a solitary rider. Yes, you are a solitary rider on the track towards light. No one else but you knows the path that you are following through the sun and rain and wind, drawing lines at once in dust and time. You're a solitary rider, just a solitary rider. If one day you decide to take a look upon the other side, a world will open that is new, full of pathways still unknown to you. As a solitary rider, as a solitary rider. land. You're a solitary rider, and one day you'll disappear on the horizon. One fine day you'll disappear on the horizon. You'll disappear on the horizon.